then we will do a. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Middle-Aged Mutant Show Live. We're broadcasting to you telepathically from the basement of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. It's probably best not to ask why. As with all telepathy, emotional transference is unavoidable, so if you start to feel aroused at any moment, it's only because I get off on this shit. My name is Ty. I'll be your host for the next couple of hours, and I'm joined by the Brotherhood of, well, mostly benevolent mutants. We're not Boy Scouts. We do petty crimes like, loitering, jaywalking, public urination. I mean, No H is really bad about flouting open container laws. But
I usually do.
yeah. But Bods and No H, gentlemen, please say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Hello, and I usually perform all of those petty crimes all at the same time. If you can call performing, if you can call crime a performance, well, when I do it, it is a performance.
When you do it, it is, yes. And here's the deal: we're doing this show live for the first time, and I mainly did it because I really couldn't stand to edit, so I thought this encapsulated my thoughts.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
See, I thought that best described my. I got so sick of editing these stupid.
That's
episodes.
Usually what we had to cut out, anyways. With you cussing.
Yeah, it was
rants at the beginning.
If you've listened
so
to any,
many.
If you've listened to any show before, first of all, thank you for listening. And but what you don't know is there's a Thai rant of some kind that you're missing out on that he has to meticulously edit out. And
yeah,
if you're
which now he can't. He can't.
It's on the internet. I can't do it, boys. It's on the internet forever.
Yeah,
forever.
Forever.
All the mutants out there are gonna have to deal with me, warts and all. But speaking of mutants, we're gonna go on to the first topic here. Nightcrawler gets a new origin story from writer Cy Spurrier. Mystique is no longer his mom. She's now his dad. And Destiny's now his mom. That's not complicated or anything.
No.
This was a new thing from Marvel Origin. It's called Marvel X-Men Blue Origins #1, which I think is an absolute horrible title for a comic book. But I read the comic, okay, and so it turns out that Mystique. Okay, so we know the kind of because he doesn't. Most Marvel characters until they do this have kind of like we kind of know their history. Wolverine. Yeah. For a while, it was kind of like he had no backstory. I mean, he was a Hulkbuster. He showed up to take care of the Hulk. He had so much time to do it, and then since he didn't do it in the time allotted, they sent in I guess the rest of the Canadian Special Forces or whatever to deal, or I guess they bombed Hulk. I don't exactly remember. I can't remember. I just recently remember this. I should know this. So, but then later in the 80s, Marvel Presents, we get the Weapon X story, and that kind of even things out. And then later, Joe Quesada and his buddies, they screwed it up with Origins. I don't personally like Origins. I don't think we really needed. I didn't need that question answered. Like, what was he doing when he was a kid?
Where he was the sickly boy and
James
that was a big deal when that came out because at the time the only thing we had was just Weapon X, and then there was nothing else.
And I was fine with Weapon X.
Yeah.
So this is basically them doing it. It's told from the point of view of this. I don't know if you guys have read X-Men comics in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, maybe even 10 years. They have the little Bamfs, Nightcrawler Bamfs.
Yeah.
And it's told from this like little Bamf who's telling you, apparently Mystique was resisting. It was a call from Professor Xavier for all the mutants to actually leave, or I think they said it was leave Krakoa. And so in the beginning of the comic, she jumps off a cliff and she kills herself, and then it kind of jumps to her in Central Park. It looks like Central Park with Nightcrawler, and at this moment, he's the uncanny Spider-Man. He's the Spider Devil, basically.
Yeah.
And the band starts, telling the story through Mystique, and you come to find out that we all know that Baron Christian Wagner was the father, the supposed father of him, and then later they try to play it off like it was Azazel.
Yeah, Azazel.
The demon.
And then what it turns out is like it's kind of all partly true. What really happened was that she was with this Destiny chick that I don't really know. I haven't read X-Men.
Yeah, I remember Destiny
these days.
Yeah.
Marvel's X-Men right now is really, it feels like gay fan fiction. It's really strange, and I feel like when I read it, I need an adult. It's just so strange. But anyway, she said, well, Destiny, I guess she can see into the future or something. So she's like, well, she let Mystique have like her lovers, like the Baron Christian Wagner guy, because of his money, and then she let her have the affair with Azazel, and then she got bored of him, and then she's like, well, I want to have a baby with you. So they go ahead and have a baby, and the way they said it happened was because Mystique can change her. She's not just a shapeshifter, she's actually like a genetic shapeshifter. She changed at like a genetic level, and she can produce gametes apparently, and she was able to impregnate Destiny. And then what she did was she like kind of pretended she was pregnant so people wouldn't get suspicious. Well, later the Christian Wagner guy gets kind of gets suspicious. Well, he catches them two in bed, and then Mystique murders him, and then the baby's born, and I guess it riles up the town folks, and they come to kill them. Well, that's the story. And then the Nightcrawler gets left by a tree, and then he's picked up, and by the time because Mystique goes back to rescue Destiny, but by the time she gets there, Destiny isn't there. And so when she comes back for the baby, which I was like, this is fucked up. She left the baby by the tree in the winter. She goes to rescue her girlfriend. She comes back and the baby's gone. She's like, well, it just seemed like bad decision making and
irresponsible parenting already.
Irresponsible parenting day one, like minute.
What a deadbeat
hour
dad.
one. I know. So that is what they've done to our precious Nightcrawler.
I always like Nightcrawler.
I have several questions. As someone who so first of all, I think I understand that the reason why Nightcrawler is dressed up as a Spider-Man person, he's in some form of hiding. I think
so. Yeah, I think that I read the first issue of it, but I got so flipping bored I gave up.
So that's
it's strange.
And there's like a million Spider-Man anyway, so why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
And so Mystique changing into a man, okay, fine, I'm along for the ride, I guess. And so if Mystique and Destiny are like the bio parents, right? The genetic, they are the parents.
Yeah.
So the main question I have after all of this is, why is Nightcrawler like a demon thing with a tail?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Did Mystique change into like a demon? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to shapeshift into Azazel because that's Destiny's kink. And because she can change at the genetic level, the DNA, that's the DNA that got passed down. That's what I'm guessing.
That's possibly, that's possible.
Yeah, because I mean that doesn't make sense because Azazel looks demonic.
Yeah, it's kind of like
he's just not blue.
You wanted to have him on stage at like Maury Povich, and he's like, "You are the father," and then have her go, "Yeah, I figured that out just way earlier than you did."
Is it just Nightcrawler's totally random mutation?
Well, the way I am not going to like give this guy a pass, okay, because this is really stupid. But the only thing I come up with is that if she is able to change on a genetic level, she borrowed the genes from Azazel, I guess, and
for reasons
started producing his sperm apparently, because she can do that, and that's the only thing I come up. They don't show the actual deed go down. They don't show the deed go down. They just show they just showed the pregnancy, which I have screens of, and I'm going to show. But what I first want to talk about before I even show you the infamous scene here, I want to talk about how this is a totally ripped off story. Okay, this actual thing, this has already happened in a different book Robert Kirkman wrote. Okay, and I've talked to Bods about this. In Invincible,
is it Invincible?
It's an Invincible, yes.
Yeah.
So you both know Monster Girl. You've been watching the show, okay?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Monster Girl and Robot, they end up in the I think it's Flaccid dimension.
The
and
flaccid dimension?
The Flaccid dimension.
That's
and
the only too much to drink.
They were the only one with swinging cods, so they were rulers there. But anyway, so they make their way to the Flaccid dimension, and from what I remember, I'm just going over this like briefly. They took over, and then they got, I guess, Robot got overthrown. Well, the royal family, the Zaxel royal family, one of their females seduces Monster Girl. Well, Monster Girl, as you can see, laid down the pipe and got this person pregnant. And then later we got this scene where this guy showed up, and he caused a big ruckus. This was the son of Monster Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, what? This is a ripoff. So I have to point that I haven't heard anybody else talk about this yet.
Well,
so
I figured
scooping this right here.
And that's a ripoff of Scar, Hulk's son, because when Hulk goes to
isn't it? I mean, I thought the main thing people would I thought the first thing people would go to is South Park, how Cartman's mom is also kind of his dad.
I don't know anything about that. I don't watch South Park, so
this is like a long time ago, but that was like the big reveal of who Cartman's dad was.
Hey,
it's technically so. And the thing is, what I've seen online, now I haven't followed X-Men or anything like that, or Marvel comics in general, but the thing I've seen a lot of nerds defend it. They defend it using like, well, it was really a Chris Claremont idea from back in the 80s or something. He wanted to do that. And like, okay, assuming that's even true, like I kind of have a feeling that the reason they never went with it is because like, oh, people aren't ready for lesbians. I think they probably said, no, it's kind of just a bad idea.
Yeah.
And you know what? We have our favorite writers, we have our favorite artists, but not every idea they come up with is gold. Okay, so
no joke.
So my question is, how did Nightcrawler react to all this? Was he like, "Oh, you were lesbian.
Well,
I'll pray for you"?
Well, he was like, at first, you're going to hell, Mom. No, or Dad. Sorry. He was kind of like, hey, pay attention to what I'm saying. And she had him at gunpoint for most of the beginning of this whole scene, and he pulls out this. Like I said, I don't read X-Men. The gay fanfic thing just turns me off. He pulls out this magical sword and cuts her pistol in half, and he's like, now fucking listen to me, and basically tries to bring her back to lucidity. And she goes on and on about, she tells basically the whole story after that. And finally they ended up embrace, and they're like, oh, thanks, Dad, whatever. So all's well that ends well, I guess. But
did she die though at the beginning?
Yeah, she gets pushed off of a cliff. So that's what threw me off when I was reading this book, because like I said, I don't know what's going on. I've read a little bit of Krakoa, and I just could not handle it because the lack of stakes just drives me nuts. The whole ability to resurrect people just turns me off completely. But she jumps off of a cliff and lands, and then this little Bamf starts telling her story, and then I was like, okay. And as far as I know, most Bamfs can't talk.
So is she dead now, or
I don't know. She can't be dead if she's in Krakoa. That's the thing. You just get resurrected. They take you to this chamber, put you in something, and then you get resurrected. So maybe this is after she's been resurrected.
Anything, just
and then to top it off, so at the end she goes to Professor Xavier, and she's like, her and Destiny are like, we just want to forget this. And so he says, okay, well, but she says, I don't want to forget my son though. So he does the juju on her, and she forgets, but I think that fractures her mind, because I think he warns her, this could fracture your mind because you're telling me to leave specific things behind, and that can mess things up. So I think that's why she's always had kind of like a iffy kind of like iffy idea of that Nightcrawler was her son or whatever, and it's just covering up for lack of forethought when they wrote Nightcrawler from the beginning. So
is she Rogue's dad? Or
I don't know. They had Rogue in there too. They had Rogue in there too. There was a scene after Destiny and Mystique catches up with Destiny and she's pissed. And she's like, I think she thinks she's gonna kill her or something. But she's like, oh, I'm here at this park and I'm watching that little girl. I know that little girl's gonna get kidnapped or whatever. So you could help me with that, or you could basically, I guess, deal with me. So they take the girl and then they have her at some picnic. So they do go ahead and actually address that. So yeah, I guess she's her adopted adopted father, because reasons, I don't know.
Is this just because they're both blue? Like, is that why the fans wanted to see this happen? Like, that's because I don't really know. I'm not.
I mean, that was the I guess rumor forever was that she was.
To me, it's like
the mom.
When Angel turned blue Archangel, I guess he's one of the dads. Is Beast one of the fathers now? Is he?
They're all related.
I thought it was
because that they had like an overabundance of blue color at one point at Marvel, and they're like, we got to get rid of this shit somehow. I don't know. Yeah. Make that guy blue. Make that guy blue.
It's
Beast actually was gray at first, wasn't he? Hairy Beast was gray.
Yeah, he was gray.
Yeah. It's a little racist to think just because they're blue, they have to be related.
Hey, you said it, not us. It's all on you. All the race hate's on you. But I have to show you this picture too. This was something I found to be hilarious. So this is the infamous butt baby scene, and this is where somebody was like drew a picture like underneath of how big her ass had to be and to be delivering this, because women can deliver in this position. It's like it's a lesser amount of women per year that do this, but they can deliver from this position. But people are like, usually you're not wearing your pants when you're doing this. So I don't know what's going on here.
What is this from right here?
This is from the comic. This is the birth of Nightcrawler. You can see Nightcrawler right here.
She shat out Nightcrawler? Is that what we're led to believe?
No, what she's doing, like, women can deliver. Y'all should know this. I shouldn't know this. Women can deliver in this position. It's like some 4% of women do this, where you can kneel and give birth to the baby. But people pointed out that this doctor is in the shotgun position, and he's so far back, and her ass has to be huge to be. She must not carry the baby in the front. She must carry the baby in the back. I don't know.
Well, No H and I are doctors, and we do know this. So we were just testing you. So
just testing me, okay?
You passed.
But soon after this, the babies they get chased away by the townsfolk, and that's the story of Nightcrawler.
And where babies come from. So
where babies come from.
Hope you all learned something today.
Hope you all learned.
And we learn.
But anyways, that was the story there. So let's move on to the next topic. Okay. I don't have a actual screen for this, so we'll just go back here. And I apologize. This is brand new software, guys. So if I mess up, I'm sorry. Next week, I got Alpha Core #1 this morning, bright and early. Whoa. FedEx dropped it off at 8:00. It's Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett. I am so flipping excited. I've already about halfway through ISOM #1. I just started reading it this morning, and so I will have a review for you guys next week. Probably more of just like a general like thinking about what, but people are already saying that this is like the dessert of this comic company. They're like, oh my god, it's amazing. So I expect nothing less. And I have news about the Savage Sword of Conan is returning February 20. Let's see, is it February 28th of 2024? And it's going to be in its original magazine format.
Oh, cool!
And black and white. And it's also going to contain the first, I guess, first in the line of stories of who is it? Gosh, I can't even talk. Solomon Kane, by Patch Zurcher and Max von Fafner.
And fun fact, Ty, you don't know this, but Solomon Kane was also created by the creator of Conan, Robert E. Howard. So there you go. I just taught you something today.
You just dropped some knowledge bombs on me.
Yeah, even though Ty did know this.
It's coming out in February. Valentine's Day gift right there.
Yeah,
I know. Well,
that is cool that it's in that format, like the big magazine format. Because I remember actually getting some old black and white Conan books, and I mean, it's just neat. It kind of goes back to that.
Yeah, it's going to contain also a prose story by Jim Zub, who's the current writer for the Conan comic, the Conan the Barbarian comic. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And there's 3 covers, and they're on here. One is by Joe Jusko, and if you are from the 80s, baby, you remember Joe Jusko. Remember Marvel Legends? That was the fucking goat. The goat. I loved all those. Those were so great. And for him to come back and do this is amazing. It looks great. I think this is probably the cover that I'm going to get. Although I do like this cover too.
Yeah, I like that one too. It looks familiar. Who is that?
It just said it's Gerardo Zaffino. I don't know this guy, but I do like his artwork.
Yeah, it's neat.
It's very nice. This is my least favorite of the cover, but it
you don't like
because
you like the anal POV of the dinosaur or whatever it is.
They cover it with the censor bar of the Savage Sword of Conan graphic.
The nuts are just hanging right behind the Savage Sword of Conan.
Those are the eggs.
The eggs. And here's some of the interior artwork, which looks great, but I do think it is he's using some sort of 3D and 3D application here, because it just looks like it just smacks of that. The way it's all laid out, it looks like they're using some sort of 3D software.
I will say that bottom panel, I thought he was a milkman driving a truck. He looks like he's having a hand on the steering wheel.
It does look like that.
Yeah.
And then here's another picture of Conan. So that will be coming out February 28th, 2024. Look for it. It's going to be 80 pages, and it's going to run you $6.99. It's going to be beautiful. Everything they put out so far is amazing.
$6.99 is like nothing by today's comic standards.
Oh, exactly. For an 80-page comic.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
Yeah,
nothing at all.
Yeah.
Oh, and we do have a trailer. Let's play the trailer right quick. Show this tab instead. Here we go, baby.
Conan Cinematic Universe.
Well, you could have like Solomon Kane and all that. Let me turn it down a bit loud.
He actually has quite a few characters that are just lesser known.
Savage Sword of Conan.
Yeah. So like I'm not as familiar. So would this be like a Red Sonja person? Would she be there too? Or
I don't think she's a Robert E. Howard. I think he came up with Cull.
Yeah,
Conan and Solomon Kane.
He did have a Red Sonja character of one of his characters, but it was like a Polish gunslinger, and one of his other, I guess, pulp stories. And so Roy Thomas, who we know him from, Marvel comics, don't we? Or maybe it was DC. He's a writer that I remember seeing in some older stuff. And I know we're going to see it and go, oh yeah, but he wrote that story, and he just used the name as a homage to that and that character that Robert E. Howard created, and then made a character similar to her, but like obviously in the Conan world. So she was created for comics. But based off Robert E. Howard.
Because it says all Robert E. Howard's most notable characters represented here. Cull, the Atlantean who became king of Valusia.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah. The Puritan Avenger, Solomon Kane, and of course, the very well-known Conan the Cimmerian. So it doesn't say here, so you're probably right. It was something that's used for something else. But that's what it says right here, at least. All right, let's move on to the next topic. And I don't have anything for this one, or do I? Hold on one second. Hold on. I think I do. Here we go. By Crom. I can do
By
it.
Crom.
Okay, let's share it here. Okay, here we yes, I do have something here. Okay, so Amazon's Spider-Man Noir picks up Stephen Lightfoot, and you would think I would be happy about it being a previous Punisher writer. Now this is writer. I went online. I went on to IMDb. It only lists him as executive producer, but who knows? He could have had some writing credits in there, or he's just uncredited as a writer. He just helped.
Yeah.
But this does not bode well for me. I can tell you.
So if the guy was in like a EP, or that's how they say executive producer in the biz. If he was an executive producer in the Punisher Netflix series, starring Jonathan Bernthal or whatever, or Johnny Bernthal, as
Johnny Bernthal
in the biz, then I would assume this guy, this Lightfoot person, was a decision maker of some kind, right? So
a very bad decision maker, and
it
was
he
both
had to approve some things.
It was both seasons, right?
I think. I mean, I probably, I don't know that for sure, but when I first read this news, I was like, well, okay, so I'm not like the biggest Spider-Man mark these days, but Spider-Man Noir is I don't like immediately hate it or anything. I was like, yeah, it might be cool, I guess. It's just from like an outsider's perspective. And then like I read like the Punisher person is going to be in it. I'm like, man, you're right. And you read that seems like on paper that should be awesome. And then you think about the reality.
Yeah.
And man, that Netflix series, I thought it was going to be Spider-Man Boar now, because to me that's Punisher series. Man, that got tedious after a while. I'm like,
the first season was ass. It was liquid ball. It was liquid ball cancer. I could not stand it. Every part of it just upset me. The whole thing where they were like, "Oh, this soldier," and then the Alex Jones like character, and I was like, "F this."
It seemed like people who, and this is a very broad generalization, but it kind of seemed like, well, I want to say anti-gun people made Punisher. That's kind of what I want to say.
Yes,
but I don't know how true that is. But it did seem like people who leaned away from what the Punisher would probably be like were in charge of the Punisher.
What's weird is like John Bernthal, he goes to like Terran Tactical to train and everything like that. So I know at least he likes guns apparently.
Yeah, like he has like his podcast will have these people on, so he has like this deep respect for law enforcement and if you're served in the military or whatever. And so, but the Punisher show, I remember watching it, I'm thinking like, they can't decide if they're like pro or against the military. And I'm like, why do you be like against it or pro whatever? That's just like, why does there have to be like a certain stance on this? You know what I mean? And and ultimately though, like whatever the angle or agenda or lack thereof, I was just bored, man. It was just not
it wasn't good,
exciting of a show, and it's such a bummer.
Well, let me ask you all this, because I don't know much about this right now, but like right here I see it says, is Nick Cage in Prime Spider-Man Noir series. So is this a live action show?
It's live action. Yeah, I asked the same question because this seems to be like a separate article beneath it, and it is a live action series. So he said that he's not going to be.
He's not going to be it. Oh,
no,
that's too bad.
Well,
that's too bad because he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, no, I liked him in the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
How old is this Spider-Man supposed to be? Like, I don't know much about this Spider-Man Noir.
Noir
like,
Spider-Man,
he was older.
Parker age. I think he's like 30,
probably,
maybe 28. He's not like 19-year-old Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's a little bit older.
But he's not Grandpa Spider-Man either, and that's
Nick Cage is. Nick Cage, Nick Cage. It was a little jarring. Yeah, it was a little jarring when you heard him talk, because he's like, you get a box of biscuit betas, and he's just like really like, I don't know. His voice sounds old now. You're right.
Is it like at the beginning of the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, where they altered his face to look young, but his voice still sounded like an 80-year-old man for some reason?
Yeah, it sounded haggard.
Like Andy was just having a bad day.
He's a bad day, Nazis.
It sounds like he's got like a hiatal hernia or something like that. This is terrible. But anyways, yeah, this really took the wind out of my sails about this. But what are you gonna do? It's Hollywood, after all. All right, moving on. Let's see. Let's look at the trailer to. Let's make sure I'm on the right one. Nope, that's Savage Sword Conan. Okay, let's look at the trailer to the new Fallout series.
I know that I've lived a relatively comfortable life.
I try to think of who this woman is.
Oh, I don't know.
Is this?
I wish there was like some kind of like website that would tell us who people are.
like a database
Smart.
or something.
Yeah.
So this is a series or a movie?
This is a series on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And I gotta say, I like the environments. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everybody looks too clean, like way too clean in this. You'll see him later in the trailer. Like look at his clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is supposed to be some type of post-apocalyptic deal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and a lot of time has passed.
Yeah, like so in the since you're not probably familiar with Fallout universe, it's like it's a post-apocalyptic future where everybody who had money basically went underground and lived there, and it's a world where like the the integrated circuit was never created, so they basically have like 40s technology, so it's still using like vacuum tubes and stuff like that. So all their technology looks, it's fantastical, but it's old. So like this, I don't think you could do this without integrated circuits.
Yeah.
Like the studio that brought you, is it like, because I don't know much about Fallout, so I don't know if that's like a humorous thing or what.
Well, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The dog.
So, okay.
It's a little diverse. That's the other part I had a problem with. I was like, it's pre like World War II, and it's a little too diverse, I would say.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a fun game to play if you
There's
see
like-
a historical drama or something. You
And-
can point out all the people who wouldn't be there.
And grabbed a moldy one.
Yeah, this
Okay,
guy here,
so
this is the guy from what? He's
Chris
the-
Parnell.
yeah, it's
Yes,
Chris Parnell.
Yeah, he's the voice of Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't remember in the original. There were mutants and stuff in the original Fallouts, but I don't remember there being any Cyclopses. So I don't know if this is a liberty they've taken, but
Okay, so there is a humorous twinge about it. Okay.
oh yeah, there always has been with Fallout.
Okay, that's good. Good to know. Yeah,
That
is
lady
it
has
another?
a fork in her eye,
So it's another case of.
and this is the
and
guy
this-
here. Who is this guy? I never. Bodsel knows.
Oh, Walter Goggins.
Walter
Yeah.
Goggins, Walton Goggins.
Walton. I don't know.
It's like
They're
Willem
saying-
Dafoe, Walton
That's-
Goggins.
That's Baby Billy, Uncle Baby Billy.
All I know is that he's on. It makes sense that he got hired for this because he's on the Invincible show. He's playing Sydney.
Cyril.
Cyril. There you go. Cecil.
Boy, and
Yes,
he's Boyd Crowder from
Justified.
Justified. There you go. Yeah.
and
And he's Johnny Drama. And no, I'm kidding. That's not him.
and I believe he was in one of the Fifth Wave movies.
So I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm not the biggest Fallout fan. The thing is, I buy Fallout every time it comes out, and I never finish them
Well,
because I get kind of bored because they kind of feel like they're all the same.
well, my experience of Fallout, and if this movie is anything like my experience,
You're just gonna create the character, aren't you?
I'll create the character. I'll go on the first mission. I'll run into a guy that needs water. I can't find him water. I give up.
Yeah, yep. That's Bonds in Oblivion too, I believe.
Yeah.
It's
My
like
character is still in the dungeon in Oblivion 2. So, what was that one? Morrowind? Was that what that one was?
Oh,
or was
wow.
it Oblivion?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, he is still in the dungeon, but Damn it, he looks like me.
That poor bastard.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
been a
never
lot of
come and
time
play with me.
on that character.
Does he look like you or does he look like the Witcher? That's the real
No.
question.
Back then, he would have just looked like me. I did a lot of tweaking because I had the scroll bars and anything like that. So I was like, yeah, you can do that.
A lot of self inserts, which is the new thing of.
Oh
of
God,
the day.
the women are the self-insert characters, or if you're a Hollywood comic book writer, all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's just put myself in here and we'll call it something else. You know, it's gotten crazy out of control, and it's just. And you know what? If you're a badass, go right the fuck ahead. Okay, Keanu Reeves, Berserker, more power to you. I started reading that book. It's good. I like it.
Okay. I was thinking about picking that up. I was at the comic book store last week and I saw it and I was like, they're in collected now. So I was like,
it's
maybe.
good. It kind of reminds me of like Punisher meets Captain America meets
Wolverine.
Wolverine, exactly. Yeah. And so I dug that. Okay. And I'm also interested in the what's the other one? Exiled is what I think it's called, and it's Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, a badass.
Yeah,
he can do that.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis is not
really.
Should not be in comics.
Well,
comics.
She did survive Michael Myers, so does she not get any kind of cred?
Well, not in every version. I believe in Halloween 4 or 5, her character died in a car wreck. So she's not every version of Laurie.
If you died in your movie, well, that would take Keanu Reeves out of the running.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis is not a badass. I'm sorry. If she wrote this, but her book is like an eco terror thing, so she can go fuck herself. I don't care.
Wait. It's not about Activia.
It's not about Activia.
Okay, never mind. Well, I thought it was about that. So yeah, I guess
You were excited until you found out.
Yeah, I'm all about
like another
gut health. So it sounded exciting to me. But
you
now
gotta have good gut
much.
health. And
it's just if like Patton Oswalt did a comic book about himself, unless he was like unless he was kind of like a penguin-like character, I'd say fuck off. Because
I would only buy it if Patton Oswalt wrote a comic where he murdered his wife, and then I'd be okay. He's true to life.
So
that's a self-insert that can work.
One thing I'll give Patton Oswalt credit for that cracked me up was when
the Community thing, wasn't it?
No. When was it Brian Posehn? He was writing Deadpool, and I guess they're friends. And he, the old write in things at the end of comics. You could write in and so. And he wrote something funny like, "I'm a big Deadpool fan. Please send me free stuff." It's not like a little kid writing it, but that part cracked me up.
Patton Oswalt also in Justified, so it all comes back to Justified.
Yeah. So that's the goal today. Somehow we have to link every one of these things to Justified. So proceed. I'll do it. I'll do it.
You do it. I mean, Noah has already beaten you.
I didn't know it was on. Now I know it's on.
Now it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Now just remember, you got to link everybody with the star of Justified, Timothy Olyphant.
Oh man, well,
tricked you. It's not him.
Well, that takes us to our next topic.
It is.
Timothy Olyphant. Live Free or Die Hard. We're revisiting Live Free or Die Hard, or that one It Man movie.
It Man, yeah.
Or Man, whatever.
Ip. Deadpool 3 leaked set photos are I guess they're confirmed that they're true, and then there's some that I guess they showed later that were not true.
Shopped, maybe.
Yeah, those were funny. The ones that Ryan Reynolds sent out. Yeah.
The one with Steve Urkel really cracked me up.
It's so kind of hidden. He's just kind of there.
He's like blurry, kind of out of focus.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this also going to be on X-Men updates?
It was on Ryan Reynolds' Instagram and stuff.
Let's see if there's Deadpool 3. If there's any more Deadpool 3s. Okay, here, hilarious Deadpool spoilers. Here we go. Yeah. So, there we go.
Predator. Yeah, they threw the Predator in there.
Yeah,
Mickey Mouse and the Money Bag.
Mickey Mouse
and Mickey Mouse. And I don't know about this one. What was this one?
I think this is I didn't really understand this one.
I can't
Let's
see.
investigate.
Here, let me see. Let's see if
It
we
was
can
just
zoom.
like the big.
Let's see if we can
like-
zoom in here.
Was it just like the big rolled up?
It says something. It's like a Q.
Is it Loki?
I don't think so.
There's a Q, a U, an L, and an E. I don't know.
Yeah, this one I didn't really.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure there's a fellow mutant out there watching who knows and just laughing at us.
You idiots!
You
Yeah,
fools!
the quiz, and then there's like a rocket here, and yeah, I don't get this one. I'm not hip. I'm not in the know here. Yeah, but that seems to be it. He said there was one.
There was an Urkel one too.
Well, I'm just saying on this website, those are the only three that they're showing.
Boo!
Just to heal white.
And
like
you know
that,
what? There was another one that had the guy from Justified in there. So
yeah, Tip Telephone was in there too.
yeah, he was in that one. Except for it wasn't him. It's Josh Duhamel. So tricked you, John.
Oh no!
It was the Timothy Oliphant lookalike, Josh Duhamel.
Yeah. If one's not available, the other
Is Josh
counts.
Duhamel the guy that was on? What was it called?
Transformers.
Is it Transform? But it's also, isn't it John Carter of Mars or something like that?
No, that is. I like that guy too. He was.
Okay, here we go.
Friday
Here
Night
it is,
Lights
Bob.
guy.
Here you go, Bob.
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor
Kitsch.
Here's the
The Urkel one.
there's
Yeah, that was
Urkel.
pretty funny.
That's funny. Good job, Ryan Reynolds. You live
Yeah,
up to
good job.
Your
Good job,
persona.
but I still hate you, Ryan Reynolds, for your bullshit that you're pulling in Colorado, trying to get Lauren Boebert's seat, trying to get her kicked out of Congress.
I don't know anything about that, so I don't want to hear about it.
know
I want
you
to
don't
just
wanna hear
I just want to like Deadpool.
You can like Deadpool and still hate Ryan Reynolds, bots. It's fine. I just kicked us off there. Let me share again.
Wait,
See,
he can't do any of that. He's Canadian.
Yeah.
We're
gonna listen to a Canadian.
I wish. Well, that's what I would say. Fuck off if you're Canadian. Don't bother with us. Our politics. Just fuck off. But anyways, yeah. So this was. I didn't get to see these, so these are pretty funny. But I do. We do know now that at some point that a Mr. Sabretooth gets his head cut off. So that's Thanks for
Tyler Mane Sabretooth.
Yeah, he gets his head cut off. So at least it's not Liv Schreiber. I always thought that was a weird cast. Anyways, let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next topic here. Okay, so Marvel's massively flops at the box office, and
Maze
who
Runner.
could have?
I said fifth wave earlier. It was Maze Runner. Please, people, don't write in. I corrected it.
Okay.
Dawkins is
It's
not
that's a formal retraction, people.
formal retraction.
Okay, so it only grossed 197 million globally in what, 4 weeks? That's pitiful. and and who could have saw this coming? Now
it's just I think everyone.
No H and I went to go see it, and it's probably the best Marvel movie we've seen.
Yeah.
So that's odd.
I know this isn't part of the MCU, but I wonder how this bodes for the Lost Kingdom movie.
Because
Aquaman, if this is truly, because I don't know if y'all saw this, somebody was posted this on the internet. I think it was World Class Bullshitters. They posted that all the toys for Aquaman Lost Kingdom are already on clearance. The movie hadn't even come out yet.
Wow.
And they're on $3 clearance at Walmart. I think it's Walmart. And the big tall figures, $5. That is pathetic. Now, normally I would just
I wonder if because
Aquaman...
I've seen them at Walmart. It's like they put out like a crap load of them. It's like maybe there shouldn't have been that many Aquaman figures, but I don't know.
But I'm pretty. Go ahead.
Like how far in advance do these things get made? Because I know the toys and stuff, they get made in advance, but I'm like, if it's that far in advance, I don't know, based on the performance of the first movie and all the controversy surrounding this new movie, maybe the toy companies maybe we don't make 20 billion of these things. Maybe we just make 20 million,
Yeah.
No shit.
Because there was a lot there. Like there's like full displays of it, and I'm like, for Aquaman.
Yeah, at some point you
Yeah.
gotta go. Hey, maybe this. Well, it's the same for this movie. You don't know how many I've seen of this thing at Ollie's already. It's
For Miss Marvel or Marvels.
For Marvels. Yeah, I already see.
I didn't even know there
stuff
was toys for it. So
yeah, there's some, and they're already at freaking Ollie's. But this movie suffered an even. It actually picked up another record. Remember how last time we talked about? I think it was. I want to say it was Ant-Man and the Quantumania. It was like a 78% drop or something of that close to that. Maybe I think it was 76. Apparently, they were in the running against God, Love and Thunder, Thor, God, Love and Thunder.
Thor, yeah,
it had a similar drop, and it was just as bad. But this one had the worst. And it says, what was it? It says 78 here, but I've heard 78%, but I've heard as low as I'm sorry, as high as 87% drop in the second week, and that is just absolutely pitiful. And they have, and they probably never will break even until they get to VOD, and I don't even know how they're going to break even there. I just don't know who could have saw this coming. I mean, I mean, if you're going to drop something for tax reasons, I think I would have dropped this flipping movie, dude. It's just
yeah.
Is there any more Marvel movies like on the horizon even
for this year? I don't think so.
Huh.
Technically, Deadpool 3 is the next Marvel movie.
Well, I think that one's going to be fine, but
I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I don't think you'll have a problem there. I don't think you'll have a problem if you put out another Spider-Man. I don't think you'll have a problem if you put out another Deadpool. And if anything X-Men comes out, I do not think they'll have a problem. I think that a little bit of this, I do believe this is superhero fatigue. A lot of people will try to tell you that this is just bad movie fatigue. No, this is full on superhero fatigue.
Well, is it superhero fatigue for like just the MCU? Because it seems like people are willing to see other things.
No, because it's everything. It's also
Black Adam and the Flash and Aquaman too is probably going to take.
Yeah. It's both sides here. I think it is. We have just gotten to the point where we've reached like full saturation on this stuff, and people can now go, well, I can pick and choose. There's no big events coming. What was the next one? Secret Wars, right? Or Avengers King's Dynasty, and that's already up in the air too. But I think that there's been some movement on the case with
Jonathan
Majors. Yeah, I think that there's been some movement on the case in his favor, but I thought Marvel already moved away from him. So it's just like there's no big events coming. Nothing that feels like it's tying into something bigger. And plus you lost most of your major cast. You lost Iron Man, Captain America. I mean, granted, they're doing the Sam Wilson Captain America, but I just don't think people care as much as they used to.
After the main, the main brand characters.
Yeah, we're in the 2008 era. It feels like right now.
Yeah, like once the name brand heroes, and like Hawkeye is one of them, which is funny anyway. But once the name brand heroes went away, and we were with store brand like Avengers, it's just
a great value.
Yeah, like no one really cares, and then you have just odd creative decisions like Shang-Chi was a movie instead of like a series. So I'm like, that should have been a series to have people get to know who the heck this guy even is. And the movie itself was fine, but and that pandemic era really didn't help anyone because everyone already kind of knew they didn't have to go to the movie theater. But then the pandemic happened, and now we're like, oh, we really don't have to go to the theater.
Yeah.
And I think they could have made some different choices. I know that they're trying to stick closer to it's weird that I'm saying this, but they're kind of sticking close to like what actually happened in the comics. They just went to the worst era of comics. I would have said, if you're going to do anything, I would have done the Grunwald agent, U.S. agent Captain America first. Then I would have, moved on to do some Nomad or something. I don't know, but
that would be awesome.
Yeah, but I just this going straight to Sam Wilson, you're skipping over tons of stuff that was better than what
I mean,
nobody likes Nick Spencer flipping Captain America. He was the one who had Captain America saying Hell Hydra. Nobody likes that, and this is the era that they're in, and it's like, can we move?
They totally skipped Bucky being Captain America, which that was kind of fun.
Dude, Bucky would be an awesome Captain America, especially since he's like now he's more super soldier than anybody else. Agent, I started watching because I hadn't seen it yet. I started watching the Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, U.S. Agent, he's just like a normal guy. He's just better than most. And then you see Bucky running after a car like he's the Flash, and I was like, oh well, what the hell, not even Sam can do that. He has his jetpack to do that. I was like, the obvious choice is running after that
Bucky.
car.
I'm still a little fuzzy on like why Bucky is not Captain America
because they never wanted him to be. I have no clue. I don't.
Yeah. Did you? Are you liking that one? That series?
So far, I like it, but the action is fun. I really like the action.
Yeah.
What I do not like is the preachy like lessons that are being like, whenever they go to meet, like the first quote unquote another thing that
Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, another thing that we have to Joe Quesada to thank for. They show up at his house. He's, I don't want to do that. What they did to me, what they did to me, and they're in like he's all pissed off, and like we just need to leave. And so then they go outside, and they're in a bad neighborhood. It looks like a bad neighborhood, and the cops show up, and they're like, "Sir, is this guy bothering you, Bucky?" Whenever he's talking about Sam, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is so stupid." That stuff right there pulls me out of it. It just pulls me right out of it. And to give like Sam all these like, I don't know if they're trying to make him relatable by giving him like these Spider-Man like problems. He's like, hey sister, we got to get our boat back together so that we can keep this family business going. I don't think. I think
do they not
bigger problems.
Pay him anything?
I know that's what I said too. I said that to my wife. I was like, I'm pretty sure the Avengers pay. So I don't know. Even that they get license deals. They'd be like Nike's, the Falcon ones or whatever.
I'm a little fuzzy on like the pay situation. Like I don't know. Like does Thor get like a paycheck or something?
Thor does not need a paycheck.
Direct deposit to
I liked U.S. Agent more than I should have, just because he reminded me of Kurt Russell being his son. That there were points where he would get mad or he'd yell or say something. And I was like, "There's Kurt Russell right there." I was like, "Why are you not Snake Plissken right now?"
Well, I know why he's not Snake Plissken. He said that
he wouldn't
number
do
one rule of Hollywood: don't play a part that your dad played.
Yeah.
So,
but I think
except in the Godzilla movie where he plays don't they play the
younger
same character? Yeah,
the younger version of him. Yeah,
but that's in the same movie, so I guess it's not that bad.
I just like him because he seems right now, at least, whenever he showed up, they show up and Bucky and Sam are trying to, I guess they're trying to get that truck convoy. And they're trying to capture the what do they call it? The One Nation or whatever, the red.
The flag smashers.
Flag smashers. There you go. Yeah. Which is the.
How can you smash a flag?
The girl from Willow and.
Oh God, that's the other thing that pulls
Solo.
Me right out of
Wasn't she in Solo at the very end?
I don't give a shit what she was in. I can't stand that
woman.
woman.
You can rip a flag. You can tear a flag. I don't know how you're smashing a flag. It's a piece of
I was surprised they didn't call them the flag burners. I don't know, but that girl.
You can burn a flag. I will show you. I will show you. I'll get this U.S. American flag. This is live.
But no, I can't stand that girl because everything they make her like a badass. She's like that chick off of Game of Thrones. I can never Brienne Tarth. Brienne Tarth. Yeah, there you go. That's what I think they want to make that girl, and I'm like, she's not.
First of all, she's not 9 feet tall, so she's not going to do that.
But yeah, I understand how she gets. If they're like super soldier or whatever, they could fight Sam and they could fight U.S. Agent, but or John Walker. But I don't think that they would have posed that much of a threat to Bucky. Bucky would have smacked.
You know, they did have USA did have its own like sidekick.
Yeah,
What was his name?
his name is Star.
Oh,
Battlestar.
yeah.
Battlestar.
He's
there you
in
go.
there. He's in it.
He is in there. Yeah,
I like
Yeah.
that they have Battlestar in there.
Yeah.
yeah. Battlestar's in there. I was fine with that. That was a good. That was
Yeah.
fun. But the Flag Smashers I thought was stupid. But anyways, yeah, this movie apparently sucked, and I don't care. Anyways, moving on to the
Moving on.
moving on to the next topic. Okay, so the voice cast of the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 voice cast has been partially revealed.
It's just Chris Pratt.
It's just Chris.
One guy.
Doing every voice.
One guy, every voice. He's
Yep.
doing Garfield now.
Yes,
He's
and he's
Garfield,
doing
Mario.
He's doing something else too, and I can't remember. what it
Knuckles.
was.
Is it Knuckles?
Oh,
no,
Knuckles, that's
no,
right.
no. It's Shadow.
No, it is Shadow. Yes, that's correct.
Shadow.
Okay.
Because Knuckles is Idris Elba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Is
anyways,
he Ugandan Knuckles or what? He's not Ugandan.
do you know the way?
Do you know the
Do you know the way? Anyways, so I don't know if y'all want to watch this little trailer, but I'm just gonna go over like the. Let's look at the IMDb. We'll make sure not to show anything because, good lord, IMDb, they will claim your crap so fast. Let's share this. Okay, so that chick from Lotus, is it what is that show called? White Lotus.
White Lotus.
Okay, Alexandria Daddario is playing Lois Lane.
Yep.
Which
Okay.
I don't understand why she's not playing the real Lois Lane, because of all the chicks they could have picked, I think that she looks like Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Pretty. I mean, her ice blue eyes freak me out really bad, and I think it's like a demon. Every time I see somebody has ice blue eyes and like dark hair,
She's
like
on
demonic.
that Witches of Mayfair show. It's an Anne Rice book, but it's a show on AMC. And I mean, she has.
Did you know that Anne Rice became like a Christian before she died, and she like renounced all this? Yeah, she became like a hardcore Christian before she died, and she like renounced all this stuff. Yeah, she was not happy with all that. Jensen Ackles, he's playing the Batman again, and I saw people bitching I saw people bitching in the comments, and I'm like, it could be really, really much worse. I know this guy was bitching because it wasn't Kevin Conroy, and I'm like,
he's dead.
I know
he is quite dead.
I was like, do you want them to dig up his corpse and just like have him like
make it
Weekend at Bernie style? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that Lou Diamond Phillips is in it, being the Spectre.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. The Spectre, Lou Diamond Phillips is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan North's gonna be Hal Jordan, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
This Matt Bomber guy, I don't know. I don't know, but he's.
You do know him. He was. I mean, maybe you don't, but like, yeah, he's been in lots of things. So, and he's done a lot of DC stuff. So, voice work, and
he's in Doom
Patrol. He's Negative Man.
Oh, that's right.
Larry Trainer.
Okay.
I think at one point he was a voice of Superman in one of the animated things. And somewhere on here, if you look closely, if you keep scrolling down, Timothy Oliphant, bam, there.
Right there.
It's the thing's covering it up, but it's there. I've connected it.
And
Jimmy Simpson from
the Green Arrow.
Is the Green Arrow. I know him
Psych.
from Always
Sunny
Sunny
in Philadelphia. Yeah,
I know him from Psych, but
okay,
yeah, that's true.
Zachary Quinto is Lex Luthor, that's a fine. I think it's strange. I think he's a perfect voice for Robot.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of bummed that they have two voices for Robot. In the comic, it was always one voice in my head, but I get it that he's actually Rex. He's Rexplode, so
it's in Ty's head, so it's canon.
It's in my head. Shut up, Bob. Anyways,
it's head cannon.
And if we didn't have enough alumni from Supernatural, Aldous Hodge,
that's right,
is also in this as well. So that's all the people that matter because I don't know anybody else. Oh, actually, Godfrey Errand, I know him. He's from. He's from Devil. That movie, the Devil. He's been in a lot of stuff. Actually, he's just kind of one of those actors that's in everything.
I want to say Darren Criss was on Supergirl, but I'm not. I may be misremembering. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
but,
more about Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, I'm down for Lou Diamond Phillips to play Spectre. I actually have never really thought of like what I would think the Spectre's voice sounded like. I have to say though, oh my god. Okay, so Batman Eternal. I'm reading that thing. Okay. And I find it hard to read because, I have my gun in my mouth most of the time, and it's just because
it gets in the way of
I can't. Yeah, it gets in the way of reading the pages. But I have my gun in my mouth because if I didn't have like a quick way out, I don't think that I could. I don't think I could finish that book because it's so flippin' bad sometimes. But the Spectre in there, it's just the biggest. It's the biggest tease the whole time. I can't change the Spectre. I can't change it. He won't come out. He won't come out. It just drove me nuts in that book. And then at the end, it's like, oh yeah, the Spectre comes out. Oh great, yeah. He could have done all kinds of stuff during it, cool stuff. I wanted to see the Spectre doing cool stuff, but he comes out in the end. It's like a Deus Ex Machina, which a Deus Ex Machina that we knew was coming, and he just fixes everything. He's like, okay, we're done. And there apparently there's a third volume of. I only have the first 2 volumes of Batman Eternal, and I cannot bring myself to read another volume of that. I read Batman Eternal, Batman and Robin Eternal, and that's worse. That was worse.
I have not read that one, so I'll take your word for
god.
it.
Yeah, Bluebird, I cannot stand Bluebird. That book made me hate Bluebird. I didn't know her character, and then the weird thing is like I get confused by the whole New 52 thing. I don't get me wrong, I liked part of the New 52. I thought it was pretty good, but this part of the New 52 where they're like, I always kind of think that we've already established who people are, but they're like, oh, here's Stephanie Brown, here's her father, the Clue Master, and they like retell everything. They did the same thing with Cassandra Cain, and then they changed up her father. I think isn't her father named David?
David Cain.
David Cain. They changed up his. They changed up his nationality, and they changed up like. I remember him being more of a mastermind.
David Cain wasn't he? He was an American spy, wasn't he, or like an assassin?
I think he was an assassin, and he trained her to be an assassin as well. And he like totally kept her from learning English so that she would only be able to like read people's like
body language. Yeah,
and it made her a better fighter.
It made comic book sense.
It made comic book sense. And then the bad parenting sense. Like, I mean, that CPS would take that child away. But
he fed her bods. He gave her food and water. And then the other part.
Why is she not enrolled in school?
Yeah, she's in the school of hard knocks, bods. And then they change up the what is it? The Order of Dumas or Dumas? I guess it would be Dumas. That really annoyed me. And they made Azrael one of the minions of Mother, or not minions, but one of the children of that Mother character. I was like, oh, screw this book. They just changed up too many things, and I didn't care for that. But I digress. But I'm excited for this. I do like the animation style, just like it was in Batman Long Halloween. So I'm looking forward to this. I haven't read Crisis on Infinite Earths, so
you haven't read it?
Like ever?
No, I haven't.
Man, it's one of my favorites.
It's good.
I need to go back. And I'm hoping to catch like an omni of it and just plow through it.
If you like just listening to things, didn't you have
there's
like a link to like where you can just like listen to like a audio version of it?
The company's graphic audio, and so I really like them. They are my favorite adaptations of like any comic book, whatever, live action, it doesn't matter, because when I'm listening to it, I really feel like the creators really cared about this, and they're name dropping obscure characters that they don't have to, and they kind of go out of their way. Now some things are maybe a little different, but it's my favorite thing to listen to, because I'm like, man, this is just kind of exactly what I want out of.
And this podcast has been brought by our sponsors, Graphic Audio.
The only problem is Graphic Audio discontinued all the DC stuff. They make Marvel stuff too, and I've listened to some, and they're good, but the only issue there is all the DC stuff is discontinued. And if you happen to find a physical disc, a CD. If you like Amazon or something, the people selling it for this ridiculous price.
Of course, discontinued.
$40, you know.
Yeah.
But Crisis is one of my favorite things, and as you've known before, I don't really watch a lot of the animated stuff, but I'm such a mark for Crisis. I'm going to check this out. And I will say about the animation style, I do like that using like. No, I didn't watch the other thing. You said it's similar to the Long Halloween.
I
like that they use the thicker like weights of
Yeah,
of the
The
lines.
lines, yeah.
Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah.
It
I
looks
know.
really good.
I know. Ty was hoping it'd be more like Japanese anime style,
No.
Forget
or
that.
Teen Titans, Teen Titans Go
No.
style,
No.
or
Forget that.
Buzz doesn't know. I'm sneaking up behind him and choking him from behind in a minute. Okay.
Hey, you know who's choking buds? Timothy Oliphant. He's the one who's actually
He's
choking
here.
buds. He's here.
All right.
And if
so
he
let's
choked
talk
me,
about
it would
that
be justified.
It would be justified.
Oh, he said it. He said it. All right, let's move on to the next topic. GTA 6 trailer. Go. Go.
Maybe.
Lucia, do you know why you're here? Bad luck, I guess.
Now, I don't think this is really the graphics. I really don't.
I don't know. No.
They're just showing actual footage right now. I'm waiting for the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. It might be close, but I don't think this is it.
Tom
They're gonna
Petty.
get demonetized. Yeah. Now, whenever you see the main chick look for scars of facial feminization surgery around the ears and the top of the head. God, now all this is apparently like this is stuff from like real life. Like you could find some of these clips online, like the lady twerking on top of the car. This lady right here.
It's just it's this Rockstar game saying Florida, it's a crap hole.
Yes.
Being a team.
Hey, Florida's not that bad. It's just crazy. It's like Russia. You know how there was like only in Russia? You know, that's only in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know. That girl's got some hips on her. She might not be a trans. I am glad they're going back to Vice. That's cool, but I don't know. It's been a while. You know, the thing is too, like, here's what's going to happen. So we buy this game and whatever, it comes out next year or whatever. Maybe it comes out in 2025. Okay. And then 10 years later, we have it digitally. And then they rip out the Tom Petty song because they no longer have the license to it. That's what you have to look forward to. That's what you have to look forward to with a GTA game.
What I'm guessing is this is the reason why we stopped getting cool stuff for Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, no doubt. This is why we stopped getting. We don't get stuff anyways because it's not GTA.
Yeah.
This is exactly the reason why they pull their sources to GTA. It's that I think all the kids that play this are like the FIFA kids. They just will spend money on anything that has Grand Theft Auto in front of it because the only thing we get is like snow. We get snow.
Oh yeah,
maybe
for one day.
For
Christmas
one day. And that is
Yeah.
coming, but just like you know, I did see that earlier today.
They said snow's coming.
There is a winter event coming. So
Dude, it makes it so much more magical when you do that. You play the game and then it's like you know everything. You go and you're like, oh, it's snowing. It's like real life, and it's like you're in a different world. It's cool. That game
world.
that game just did not get the love it deserved. That was just a fun
man. You know, the last time I played a Rockstar game, the first Max Payne. That's how long it's been.
Well, you must have been barfing so much that's when you gave up.
That's not true. John did sit and at least watch me play Manhunt in his room.
I know. I have heard of the Manhunt live streams that Boz did. When I say live stream, he just played it in front of a group
I played
of
it in front of people.
It was me.
And I cheered him on.
And people cheered me on. It was like the last Starfighter, but it was like
there was streaming involved, but just
this is what we did before streaming existed.
This is where the middle age part comes out.
We would go get one of our consoles. It was usually a friend you had that they were a single child or they're rich, and so they'd bring it over to your house, and then you would watch them play Metal Gear Solid, and it'd be like three guys sitting on the couch watching somebody else play. That was streaming before streaming existed.
You're like, I'm just watching this. So can we really get mad at our kids that like they watch videos of other kids playing games? It's like that's kind of what we did, but just in person.
Go ahead.
Mm,
No H.
okay.
No,
Can you hear
I'm
me?
not sure what just happened there.
what
Was
happened?
that
Okay.
me? Was that me who did that? I don't know. I heard
What
some
happened?
weird sound effect.
All I
Um,
know is you started like just cussing, and Ty had to like bleep you out, and it
I
was just
do
like,
have a I do have a bleep button actually.
This
all right,
is
let's see.
live.
All right, John, get ready to say all the cuss words you want to say. Ty's going to try to catch you in time. Bleep you out.
So here's
Here
my
we go.
true feelings about Ty. Here we go. Get that bleep button ready. This is as
Okay.
live as it gets. Very, very live.
Live and raw. Here we go. All right. So yeah, I think it looks like a Grand Theft Auto trailer. I'm not even gonna say it looks good at this point. It looks like a flipping Grand Theft Auto trailer.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like it's rinse and repeat. It is cool that it's in a different place. I would rather it be in the 80s, to be honest. If you're
Yeah.
gonna go to Vice, let's do Miami Vice and do
Yeah.
it right. Okay. So good luck to Rockstar on this. Can't wait till the next Red Dead Redemption game.
Yep.
All right. So the next thing that we got is for this is a gift idea for Bods.
Yeah, I'll take it.
If anybody wants, this is on Bods' Amazon wish list here. So if you want to gift this to him, there is a Witcher cookbook. It's the official cookbook, and I don't know what to say about this.
What do you cook in the Witcherverse?
It's like
I can tell you. In the game,
so
cuisine.
Like you actually, I'm guessing. I mean, they do mention pierogi, so there's probably some pierogies in there.
Yeah,
but there are parts in the game
the
where
Tevrog
you gather
dumplings here. I'm pretty sure that's pierogies. The Lambert, these are Lambert's herb and Tevrog dumplings. So I'm guessing that this is.
Well, remember that was it the Tavrok and like a rune you can add.
I thought it was Parog.
There's Parog and Tarog. Remember, there was 2 that you can add.
Yeah, but what happened when you got the second one? Because I never was able to find it.
Nothing. I don't remember. I don't think it was anything big at all. It was just kind of like a little joke thing. You could put it in there, but I don't think it did. I don't know. Maybe it did. But in the game, you actually do like find recipes and stuff in the game, and apparently you can really make the stuff in there. I guess they just compiled things that were in the game, which is weird because it wasn't like Skyrim where you could actually make these things in the game and have food. And I didn't know until you told me that I can, like, the beehives I can eat, like, if I burn them.
The beehives. Yeah,
so you would think it'd be the same thing. If I found like raw meat, I should be able to like burn that and eat that too.
I don't know.
Meat.
All I know
But
is that
I
my
don't think
character got diabetes because I was exclusively eating Big Honey.
Toxicity 100.
The ladies go in here and talk about how we flew to the area and we learned all this stuff and we're trying to be so authentic, and I'm like, it's not real.
What area did they? Where did they fly to?
I think it was Poland.
Oh, okay.
But they said they patterned it after Polish folklore motifs and like Slavic stuff. They said you can make like the Boris the Trolls hodgepodge soup. Now I'm pretty sure if it's authentic, it contains human body parts.
Yeah.
But for this case, they probably use long pig.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No,
So,
go ahead.
I'm just like, when I hear Witcher cookbook, I'm like, so like bugs or something, or just like, what are they? I've only watched like 2.5 episodes of season 1.
And those episodes, he just went and ate normal food. No H, he wasn't eating bugs.
I mean,
except for the part where he may have been eating bugs, but still.
Mine never ate anything. I swear to God, he lived off Thunderbolt, Swallow, and what's the other one? Not Blizzard. There was another one. The Thunderbolt, Swallow, White Honey, and Cat, and then
the cat.
So you're saying you swallowed White Honey? Okay, that's all I heard from that.
My guy never ate. As soon as I figured out you could take Swallow and he would just regenerate his health. He doesn't eat food, so I threw all his food away.
I never ate anything in the first go round barely anything at all. And this one I kind of do it more moderately and so just to top things off. But I remember you telling me your wife would like when she played, like he's just constantly eating just nonstop.
Yes,
He should be like 400 pounds.
I know
She's like get fat. Like
no,
she's like downing. She's downing. Like you know how they have like chicken sandwiches, and it's just like a piece of chicken. She's downing raspberry, this, that, all kinds of. Oh god, it was so funny. I was like, why did you just take the swallow? And she's like, well, it's not fast enough. And I was like, it's slow there too.
Yeah, it is slow. Like I did not know because I didn't know the first time that I was like, I would do the same thing she did. And I was like, I was like, it's taking forever. And then I realized this second go around, you eat it and you just wait and watch your little thing.
Let it go. Yeah.
Let it go. And he'll fill up. It's nothing's like instant in that game.
I always took it like when he ate something and then you got hit, you know, and it was like in the midst of like raising your health level.
Yeah.
That was them slashing his stomach open and whatever he ate just fell out.
I don't think so.
You're not healing yourself that way.
Yeah,
I don't know how he'd have been able to fight on such a full stomach when my wife was playing. I was like, I don't think he's gonna make it, Aaron.
He's a little sluggish.
I don't want a fantasy where I'm killing monsters or something. I like the idea you eat whatever you want. You don't gain any weight.
Yeah,
your skin looks fine. You just go on and gorge.
Then you'll love Witcher 3.
Yeah, you can eat as much as you like. As much as you like. Speaking of cooking, though, Buds, if you want to cook and have it be like a actual mechanic in the game, go ahead and check out Zelda: The Breath of the Wild. You have to cook in that game. There are recipes that you find. You have to cook. You have to kill things, and you make them. So it's pretty fun.
In Skyrim, when I learned to do that, I was like, oh, okay, that's a neat little mechanic.
And Bods, there's also a different game, Zelda: Breath of the Wild, where you still have to cook, just something different.
Oh god! All right, but anyways, go ahead, check this out. I think it's gonna be expensive. How much does this thing cost? $34.99. That's not bad.
That's not bad. I actually would like that because like
gift Bods a copy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Polish cuisine, even though. And I think No H was with me on this one. Maybe not, but we went to a place called Taste of Poland. Blandest food you could think of, you could ever imagine. It's like, can I have some salt? Can I have some salt, please?
Yeah,
but isn't it like traditional? When I hear traditional, like from the old country, I'm like, so they ate whatever they had.
Yeah,
so they just wouldn't starve. That's the cuisine.
That's the cuisine.
I would guess that they wouldn't use salt in that country. Most of the Polish people I know have gigantic goiters because they just don't get any iodine. It's like
Bob has that giant goiter, you know.
Yeah,
covers
right.
up with his hair now.
Yeah, and I drew a little happy face on it, and it's a lot like Mad Max Fury Road. It's
there you go.
Like that. Maybe I should go to the doctor.
That in here.
Maybe I should go to the doctor.
Should. If we have a little bit of time at the end, because right now we're sitting at an hour and 17 minutes. It's kind of nice when you're streaming now. You can see how much time you have.
I like that.
So we might be able to squeeze in a Furiosa like rant, but yeah, you know what? Let's just do it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Here we go. See, what is it called?
So it's Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, and
a Mad Max saga.
I am a stickler. I'm not a stickler. I guess one of my pet peeves is titles. Normally, I'll like the movie, but I won't like the title. Batman Begins. I liked it. Hated the title. Batman Begins. Alliteration. Wow. And when I hear a Mad Max saga, I think of Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, Solo, a Star Wars story. I think it just sounds ridiculous. I would rather just be called Furiosa, but I understand the studio probably wants.
Yes.
They should have called it Fabuloso.
Fabuloso.
And then I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah. You know what? It's got to be like the Arkham thing. You know how like when all the Arkham games come out, they called the first one Batman Arkham Asylum. You did not need to call the next game Batman Arkham City. You could have just called it Batman Gotham City or something. I don't know why everything had to be Arkham this and Arkham that.
It's the Arkhamverse.
Then you have the Dark Knight, and then that gave us Man of Steel, and then you have things like Logan and the Wolverine, and there's the and there's the and that's just all throughout these
Yeah.
movies, but
Yeah.
the Predator or something.
I remember
Speaking
when
of-
we go to the theaters, No H would ask for I like a ticket for the Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
the Wolverine.
You know, speaking of the Wolverine, okay, that movie is kind of it's pretty loyal to the actual lore of Wolverine. I recently started reading my first Omni of Wolverine. In the very first part of it, you have Weapon X, and then it moves on to the Frank Miller. I guess it was like a 4-issue miniseries.
Yeah.
And that movie is pretty much those issues. Now, that doesn't Silver Samurai is different. Mariko's in there, and then I can't remember the name of the other girl, but it's pretty accurate. I was after reading that, I was like, well, now I got to give that movie a pass because at the time I was like, but now I got to give it a pass for sticking to lore. But let's watch this trailer.
Okay.
Let's turn it down.
Whatever you have to do.
Why is she always doing this? She did this in the first movie too. She's always like
Promise me you'll find your way home.
wobbly kneed.
Well, then she's
Furiosa.
channeling Charlize Theron pretty good then. If she was wobbling
Yeah.
in the first one.
She's got polio, so
So I will say this: I don't really care enough about the Furiosa character, and prequels themselves are sort of a general turnoff for me. But George Miller is just so good.
Yeah.
yeah. But do you notice, like, as he's starting to look more like somebody's aunt, he wants to put female characters in his movies now. It's like,
yeah,
he
so Fury Road was awesome. I did really like Fury Road, but I remember my wife and I went to go see it, and I walked out of the theater, and I'm just happy people are still making movies like this, like this crazy, just going for it, high concept, weird characters. Like, I'm really happy they still make movies like this. But even saying that, I'm like, it's still a case of we're gonna call it Mad Max, but it's really about
Furiosa, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is like, oh, this is what you really wanted to do the entire time. It's kind
Well,
of
I'm sorry.
like.
I'm actually surprised this doesn't say this is her story, like, you know, like history, her story. I'm surprised they didn't do that. I'm just sick of this chick that is in all these frippin' movies now. What's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Now, me and Boz were talking about this part. Why is Hemsworth not Mad Max in the first movie? Why?
Yeah.
That is
they already had an Australian A-list actor.
Australian. And
And
no,
he
they
was-
put
If you're not gonna put Mel
Jake
Gibson in it, might as well get a real Australian.
Exactly. What the hell? That is such a, like, we sat there and go, that's such a weird, like, why didn't we think of that the first time we watched it? This should have been a no-brainer.
And I'll
that
say
was
this.
probably during the time where he was filming like 400 Marvel things at the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
could
probably
be.
couldn't
Could
get
be.
him.
But I'll say this. I still even think today's Mel Gibson could still be in one of these movies.
Yeah, but he's got kind of a gobbler now. Have you seen that? His neck.
gobbler?
He's got a gobbler. Like
He
his
could
neck is
play
turned.
the Tina Turner part now. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or he could be.
You know what? I would have been happy if this movie would have been like, if they wanted to go back and do some sort of a prequel, I would have been happy if it would have been about Tina Turner. I just don't like Furiosa. If you're gonna pick a chick from this universe, let's pick the chick that's more interesting. Let's pick Tina Turner.
So when I watched the trailer first, originally, I'm like, so this is happening within Mad Max's lifetime, right? Like, of course, right? Like, so it's been a while since I've revisited the original movies, but I'm pretty sure there was no Immortan Joe or anything in Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max, or Road Warriors. So I'm like,
it kind of
this is-
it asks the question: how old is Max? Because when he was a cop, yeah, things were bad, but it wasn't like post-apocalyptic bad yet.
yeah. So like this would imply that this stuff is going on
For a while.
presumably during the same time as Road Warrior and Mad Max. So I'm like, what region is this happening in?
Well, I remember, if you remember in the old movies, he said something like about him, like, you know, giving up and like at the beginning of Road Warrior, it says he gives up and goes into the Badlands or something like that. So I guess that some part of Australia is somewhat okay. I guess, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. He should have been Mad Max.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Or is this supposed to be a Morton Joe and we just don't know?
No, because they show him face to face.
Oh, right
Yeah,
there. Okay. This must be Scrotus. I don't know if y'all played the video game, but there's a character named Scrotus. I wonder if this is him.
I don't know, but I didn't know that was Hemsworth for the longest time.
Really?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies.
What the hell? Oh, that's the green place. I
feel
will say
like-
though, I will say what they got right here is how dirty everybody is. The
Yeah.
Fallout trailer doesn't do it right, but this one does it right. They are dirty.
They're dirty
I feel
people.
I feel like as like a spectacle, this is going to be really good, but I'm just like not going to be into the story at all. Like visually, it's going to be amazing, but I'm like, I don't care that you're Furiosa. So like, I really just don't.
I want to see Mad Max.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody got
It's-
killed by the parapet.
It's like it's Mad Max without Mad Max, and
It's
I.
Thor. It's Thor without Thor.
And I'm pretty sure someone's going to say, finally, a woman is in the main character role being an action
Yeah.
star. I'm like, like, shouldn't that be normalized by now? We shouldn't make a big deal about that because it's just the norm. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying, just don't treat it as a new thing.
Yeah.
That's
I
But,
don't
you
know.
know-
I don't know what to say about this movie. I really don't know if I want to even see it. I like Mad Max. Me and Boz
Yeah,
into Mad Max.
that was probably my first like hero was Mad Max. As a kid, for some
Yeah,
reason I really
we-
liked Thunderdome.
Loved him, dude. And
Yeah.
it was Mad Max. It was little Jack Burton, and it was
Jack Burton.
Ash Williams. That
Ash
was our
Williams.
like trinity when
On
we were
Snake.
young men.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So
you know, if you could have, you mentioned Kurt Russell earlier, throwing
Yeah.
Snake into the Mad Max world, man, that would be just too cool, man.
mm,
He has to escape from Australia. Come on, man.
there you
Yeah,
go.
Escape from Australia.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come,
And speaking,
Snake.
we're gonna segue right into a different kind of snake. Let's say a solid snake. This article I want to leave on a funny note here, and here it is. Okay, just brace yourself, gentlemen. Apparently, the Fortnite player base, and I'm not saying everybody, but some people are pissed off because Snake has no cake.
Yeah,
Got-
and that
Okay.
player base is me.
It's just
What we
one.
didn't what we didn't know is that at one point or another when Bods is playing these games, apparently he was stroking his solid snake to this solid snake over here.
And then, so it's just one user just kept on posting again and again.
Again and again.
So yeah, and the comments are just this is awful where his ass. Where's his ass? Solid Snake does not breathe through his nose. He actually has lungs located in his ass. If he were if he has a small butt, it means his lungs are being crushed and he's being asphyxiated, slowly dying. This is snake abuse.
What?
Jeez, dude. Screaming and yelling, throwing up because they gave Solid Snake a flat ass, which is deeply antithetical to everything that Hideo Kojima stands for. Disgusting. Yeah, no, Peter Griffin did have a butt in this game. They made him all like
They made him jacked.
svelte.
Yeah.
In this one, they have the little, what is it? The little pinata shaving his butt cheeks off. And then they have to have a comparison. I guess this is the Super Smash Brothers version of Snake.
Yeah.
I guess he was carrying the cake. I don't know. Y'all can't see that. Oh God, I just can't. This is why I simultaneously love and hate the internet at the same time, because I never sexualized Snake ever as I was playing the game.
I would have never thought about any of this stuff. You know,
it never would have crossed my mind. I remember being uncomfortable by the fact that Vamp was apparently gay.
Yeah.
Remember he had that weird, like very awkward scene with Raiden where he was like behind him and he was grinding on him or something. I was like,
Yeah, we were
I was
kids, so we're like,
yeah,
should we be seeing this? No, I need a parent.
I need a parent. I need an adult. But yeah, I was deeply disturbed by this.
This is a disturbing aspect of the nerd subculture where it's like, yes, it's all tongue in cheek, if you will, but it's also like kind of serious too. It's like this is what people are thinking about. It's it's fun to make jokes, but I'm like, it's still this is what you're thinking about. This is what you're focusing on, and I'm just like,
this is where you took it. You took
But
it there.
at least I know Ty will play this season with me because Snake's in here.
Yeah, Snake. I'm a little bit embarrassed.
You get him with the battle pass.
I don't know. I'm getting a little too. I'm starting to get too over this shit.
So is Snake. I mean, he's
I'm getting a little too middle aged for this.
No joke. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for showing up. And actually, nobody showed up for this stream. This is our annual. This is our not annual. This would be our inaugural live episode.
I messed up right at the end. How embarrassing! So good all the way through, and then he threw in that annual.
Well, that was Bonds' last show. So,
I'm sorry. If we were talking about Snake's ass, I meant to say anal, but sorry. Anyways, I want to thank you for showing up later to watch this. Hopefully somebody watches this, and as always, we'll see you down that dusty trail. Take it easy, everybody.